What's up, you guys? Stoopzz back again, and today we're doing another podcast. Hello, welcome again to the 10th World of Stoopzz podcast, where we talk about anything World of Warcraft related, anything inside of World of Warcraft PvP arena, usually specifically. And recently we've been talking a lot about real life issues, real life matters, and I find that to be more interesting for me. I think it makes for a much more interesting podcast. And to be honest, you guys, these are one of my favorite things to do for the channel. I know they're great for you. They're time filling. I think some people think these are like videos. They're like, wow, Stoopzz, that's a long podcast. That's a long video. They're meant to be played in the background while you're doing your world quests. Maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're out for a walk, you're in class, you're on your lunch break, and you want some entertainment, but something that doesn't draw you to a screen, your phone, a monitor. You're just listening to this in the background, doing your daily activities. And that is why I think this is some of the best content that is currently available on this channel. And I think I can make a much bigger impact through this format versus anything else on my channel. So if you are new to the podcast, we typically start off the podcast with an overview, which we're currently in right now. We will then transition into some of the news regarding the channel, anything I have to update you guys on my channel, my community. We will then transition into one of my favorite portions of the podcast, which is the subscriber spotlight. It's an opportunity for me to thank an individual, a couple individuals, people that participate within our community, that support this community, and I just love doing that so much. And then following that, and finally, we'll go into the topic of the podcast, and today is just the idea, we're discussing the idea of toxicity. I can never say that word, toxicity. Toxic players, toxic community, toxic family members, toxic individuals, toxic loved ones, toxic relationships. Just the idea of being surrounded by that feel, that toxic feel, the uncomfortable feeling, that negative hatred, pessimistic, the idea of just being toxic or being surrounded by a toxic environment. We're going to discuss all of that in today's podcast. So going into the news portion of the podcast, well, this is the 10th episode of the World of Stoopzz podcast. And I got to tell you guys, I can remember or recall the moment where I came up with this idea of doing a podcast. I called Brennan, one of my subscribers, and I said, hey, you know what, man? I've been loving podcasts lately. I listen to them all the time when I'm going to bed, when I'm in the car. Sometimes I'm just tired of listening to music. I want to do my own. And when I was going to college, I remember being told through these personality tests or being informed through these various job personality tests, what are you going to be in the future, what you could be in the future. And they all told me that I'd be a radio talk show host. And I was like, no way. But I thought this would be great practice. And I love to talk. And it's a format for me to kind of just not transition out of the gaming community, because this podcast still does revolve around World of Warcraft. But I like to consider myself a deep individual. I like to have conversations, talk about life, and this allows me to do that. So I never thought that I'd be here at the 10th episode. I'm so glad to be here. And I look forward to doing more in the future. I want to continue to do these podcasts regardless of what happens to this channel. I just love doing them so much. And I hope you guys enjoy them as well. We are heading into Blizzcon here. This will probably be my last video on the channel for a couple days, I believe. Those of you guys who listen to these podcasts will be informed of that, obviously. So be sure to let everyone know, but BlizzCon is coming up and I have Deagle coming down here. War Deagle, by far my biggest supporter on the channel. The guy makes every single stream. He's been donating since day one. He calls me all the time. He texts me all the time. And obviously he's not in my subscriber spotlight today, but I just want to give that man a shout out. Deagle, how you doing? I'm sure you're listening to this, and I'm just so happy that you're coming down here. I can't wait to see you, man. And I'm eternally grateful just to have you in my life, man. And I just want you to know that none of this would really be possible without you. And I think this week being the 10th World of Stoopzz podcast, Blizzcon coming up, a new WoW expansion. It's just a week of great things for this channel, for us, for everybody, everyone involved in the World of Warcraft community. And I'm just very excited. That's also something I'm looking forward to. Brennan is also coming down here. Brennan Brady, I've seen him before. He's visited me before, and he's coming down here with my boy Ben Irons. Met him in World of Warcraft as well. So all three of my Warcraft buddies that I've met through the game, before meeting them prior IRL, they're all coming down here. We're going to go to Blizzcon, so I think it's just really fitting, and I'm very excited to do that. We're getting a hotel, and I'm going to be filming. I just ordered my camera. It should be here tomorrow, so I can vlog this for you guys. I'm not really sure how good the quality is going to be. The camera quality will be great. I'm not sure the sound and audio quality will be, because it'll be so loud in there, but I'm going to try my best. I think it'll be fun. Good practice, at least, so I can't wait to do that as well. I also just got offered another sponsorship opportunity through Adder to do more of these Lineage 2 Revolution videos alongside of Swifty, Bajira, and I think that is so exciting because they really liked my first video. It's an awesome opportunity for me to continue to grow within this content creation scene, and they're gonna be funding me money to create these videos, which is excellent, so I can go out and buy new equipment, put money in my savings, and continue to make World of Warcraft content for you guys. That's why I do these sponsored videos. Number one, it's a great opportunity for me to obviously work at my craft, get better at making videos. And for anyone that doesn't understand that, I want to inform you guys, it's the same thing as your boss, another company reaching out to you and say, hey, we like the work you do a great job. Can you do work for us? So anyone that gets upset that I do those types of videos, just ask yourself, wouldn't you take the same opportunity? Aren't you happy for me? Aren't you excited for the channel? Why is that a problem? Why is that an issue that people are offering me opportunities because I work so hard at what I do, or I'd like to think so, and they're giving me a chance to do work for them? Update my resume, my portfolio. And also, they're paying me money so I can continue to do work for you guys. So if anything, be grateful for them. Thank them. Be happy for the content. It's a great opportunity for us, our community. The money doesn't go into my pocket, you guys. I'm not all about money, and I never will be. I like the idea of buying things. Like, there's things I want to get, but it's always for my stream. I'm never going out there, man, I want to buy a bunch of shoes or clothes. All my money goes to buying better equipment for my stream. All the money I save, I want to save for my stream so I can continue to stream, so I can continue to make videos. That's the way I think. When I'm obsessed with something, I want to save all my money so I can continue to afford things for my stream. I don't go out and buy myself anything. You guys see me vaping on stream. I have this broke down mod that has cracks in it, paint's chipped. And I'm like, well, I should probably get a new one. But if I need something for my stream, I go out of my way and I buy that immediately. All of my money goes back to improving the content for you guys, so you guys get a better viewing experience. So my stream is a little bit more entertaining or enjoyable. I want you guys to be happy. And sometimes I don't even do things for myself. So this is an opportunity for me to save money and put aside to help you guys. And I hope you guys see it in that light. I hope everyone understands that. That when I'm streaming and I'm doing these videos, I want to make sure that you guys are happy. It's not that I'm happy. I'm only happy if you guys are happy. And that's why I love doing this so much. So I'll be working on that the next week, but to counteract those videos that I'll be releasing for that company, I will also be releasing WoW content at the same time. There's going to be a lot of stuff to cover for World of Warcraft. I'm very excited. The arena season is coming to an end here shortly. I have not queued that much, but that is not really on my mind. I actually have been getting more into the monk, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And I've been getting into just trying to get better again and playing the game a little bit more heavily and pushing rating rather than just playing all these alts and getting 2K and doing this LFG thing, which I like doing. I think it makes for a fun viewing experience, but at the end of the day, I also like to be competitive in my own right. So with that being said, next season I'll probably focus a little bit more, but there's a lot of stuff coming out for me, or coming up for me in terms of content creation, and I'm very excited to cover all of that. Now, with that being said, let's head into the subscriber spotlight. And there's one individual that comes to mind. I have two individuals written down here, but I don't want to do two in one. I think everybody deserves their own, and that's Tyler Thorpe. has just been awesome, man. The guy gives me so much of his attention. He hangs out with me. He always wants to play with me, whether it be World of Warcraft. We've been playing Destiny together. He'll hop in voice after the stream ends and just kick it with me till he has to go to work. He'll send me pictures. He'll text me from time to time. And I'll never forget the other week he donated to the stream. And the message he put behind the donation meant so much to me. It wasn't even the fact that he donated, but he also said, "It's my payday, and when I get paid, you get paid." And that just meant so much to me, just the words alone. The fact that he's willing to put aside his hard-earned money, which, by the way, that guy works extremely hard. Ridiculously hard. I always feel bad talking about what I have to do and what I have to work on because I know he works all the time. He only is usually off on Mondays, and I usually ask him, "Hey, what are you doing, Sunday or Monday? Can we play?" So for him to put aside that money instead of going out of his way and buying himself something new just means so much to me. And he's just so nice and supportive. He's always been there for me if I need anything. He supports me through Patreon. He's been a part of this channel and has really never left since. He always shows up to all of these events. He's always there to hang out, ask how I'm doing. And I just can't thank the man enough. Tyler, if you're listening, man, I really do appreciate all the things that you do for my channel. Thank you for making it to almost every single stream. Even when you have to work, I appreciate it. Thank you for playing with me after hours, looking up vape stuff, looking up my camera stuff. All that stuff means so much to me. And I just hope you realize that I appreciate it. I understand all the things that you do for my channel, just your presence of being there and liking the stream and just hanging out with me and supporting me on what I'm doing in my life. I hope you can take a step back and look at that and see what an impact you're having on my life. And that goes for really all of you guys. You guys are going out of your way to support me, my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, what I enjoy. You're supporting my current passion. And it means the world to me. Every viewer, every subscriber, every friend, every like, all those things mean so much to me. And I don't take them for granted. I won't take them for granted. Really happy to have great mods like Sleeper and Matt, friends like Deagle and Tyler that are always there, even if they're not playing the game. They have the stream running in the background and they're there to talk to me. It always means so much when you guys come to ask me how I'm doing and talk to me. I know the chat's always there and you guys are always talking to people in chat, but it's always nice to feel included in my own stream and be talked to. So I appreciate you guys, and Tyler, thank you so fucking much, man. Now, with that being said, let's get into the topic of the day. And this kind of came to me with this whole Asmongold thing going on. And I've been going into Twitch a little bit more than usual. I've been watching my buddy Tosan stream. If you haven't seen Tosan or have heard of Tosan, go check him out. I've been watching the PvP tournaments for a while going into Blizzcon. I've been reading some of the comments on that most recent video, which I just laugh at. I mean, for the most part, if you have been with me in chat, when I read them, I just laugh at them all. But it got me wondering, and it kind of came to me, and it's something that I think about a lot, over the past couple years of my life. When I was growing up, when I was 13, 14, and 15, I know those years are really hard for any teenager. If some of you guys can look back that far, if some of you guys are currently in your teens, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Those years were always so hard, and even now, sometimes I get in that same funk, and the funk I'm referring to is just that negative, toxic state. And when I've been reading through these comments, and I go into the Twitch chat, and I always talk about, why do you stay on YouTube? I'm like, why don't you go to Twitch? Yeah, I'm going to make my way towards Twitch, sooner than later, at one point. But there's something about all this negativity that I want to avoid. I don't want to be around it. I don't want to be near it. With this Asmongold thing, people are like, oh, you're doing it for the views, man. You're doing it for the views. You're doing it for the publicity. You want the publicity from Asmongold. I don't want that ever in my life. I don't ever want to be around that ever. It is disgusting. Follow me along on this. Those weird little like frog faces and these weird emotes. They're funny, but they're always just used in such a negative light. Like, why is everything so negative? Why is everybody, and I'm not trying to be a hippie about this. And this came to me when I was reading the chat, the comments, excuse my language, but they're like, F you, man. You made a wiener joke. I hope you go die. You have Asperger's. They're telling other people in my comment section, my subscribers, they have Asperger's. There's my phone. They're saying they have Spurg. That's like an abbreviation. They're saying horrible things about like your mom's a drug addict. What is going on? Does anyone realize that if you were to say that to somebody in person, either you would be in a lot of trouble or you'd gut somebody? It's horrible to hear that. And I'm not trying to be emotional about the whole thing. You know, specifically, I'm not going to say just the World of Warcraft community. We'll talk about that community today. But just the gaming community, the online community, why are you guys like that? Now, I'm going to start with the story, but I want you to ask yourself this question throughout the story I'm going to tell, how it relates to me today, and then what I can apply it to. Ask yourself, are you just negative sometimes? Are you one of those people that makes negative jokes, like complains about things very often in a funny light? Like that is the way you, that's me, by the way. So I'm not always that way, but that's me. I make like negative jokes to cope with things and I laugh at them. Are you always someone that's just whining or complaining? Or you go into other people's streams and just say negative stuff, like really hurtful stuff? Are you somebody that goes into the comments and just says horrible things to somebody because you don't agree with them? And I'm not talking about jokes. Okay, I'm not talking about me making a video, by the way, which I scripted, I wrote down, I knew what I was going to say, it was a joke. But I didn't go out of my way and say, I'm going to knock your teeth in or F you. Are you just somebody that goes out of their way to randomly spread just negative hatred? I'm sure there's a lot of you that don't, but I'm sure somebody out there listening right now knows what I'm talking about. Somebody out there listening either contributes to like a toxic environment or they're surrounded by toxic people. Now ask yourself this question. I'm sure many of you listening will be like, that's not me. I don't do that. I'm not negative. I'm not toxic. But as I go on with the story, maybe some of you will change your mind. So growing up, I remember my parents got like this divorce, right? My dad ended up passing away. He was addicted to a lot of different drugs and opium and then like started taking methadone to get off of that. And my mom was really upset about this whole situation, obviously. We ended up going bankrupt. And then I have to move in with my mom. She gets really sick, has to have a heart surgery. And while I'm there, my whole life, I was never, I would say, the toxic one. I was really polite. I was really like just laughable. I love to laugh and be goofy and be happy. And this was just me, and I'm being honest with myself. I went through a lot of things in college, right, through counseling courses, and this is something that I came to the conclusion of doing my own studies. Growing up, I was really innocent and just, I didn't want any problems. I wanted everyone to be happy. I want everyone to be happy. I want to make sure everyone's okay with me. But when I moved in with my mom, I noticed that she would always just be so upset and angry, and obviously she had the right to feel that way after everything that had happened to us, but I couldn't understand why she was so upset, but it's still my dad, and we lost our home, and I had to move away. So why are you so negative about everything? Why are you so ungrateful about everything? The fact that we still breathe air, the fact that we're still here, we still have each other. Why are you so just always complaining, always unhappy? Everything's not enough. We're always struggling, quote unquote struggling. We don't have enough food. We don't have enough money, but I'm still full every night. But maybe I didn't see it in her light, and I still understand that to this day. But then I started to realize as I got older, and because of being around this like energy, just her energy, I started to morph myself. My jokes started to change. I started to be a lot more negative. I was getting into drugs. And I remember one day I was with my friends and we're in a car and he turns around and I said something. He's like, why the fuck are you always so pessimistic? And I didn't even know what that word meant. I was like, pessimistic. And I looked it up. I was like, optimistic and pessimistic, right? And he said, you're just always so negative. Like you're always complaining. You're always upset. And I used to not be that way. I used to be so happy and quiet. And I realized that my mom's energy, my mom's feelings, her emotions had started to rub off on me. The way she saw things, the way she reacted to things, the way she appreciated things, all started to rub off on me. I started to feel uncomfortable, angry, dissatisfied. And I'm not blaming her, it's the situation. But it was so contagious that I didn't even notice that I had attracted it. And I had lost so many friends. I mean, I can't tell you how many friends that I had lost along the way. Some of them I talked to today, some of them I don't. And I'm definitely not the same way anymore because I worked really hard to get rid of that. But who you are surrounded by, the energy, is extremely contagious. If you have a toxic family life, everybody's always arguing and pissed off, unhappy, it's really hard to stay friendly, positive, and appreciative. Now, I know that you can be. I know that you're able to. But it's hard. It puts an extra level of stress on your shoulders. If your wife is always just nagging at you, has something to say, and she's all that you're surrounded by, you're going to look for opportunities to like release yourself, right? I need to go out with my buds. I need to go out and drink. I need to cleanse myself of this gross feeling. You had a horrible work week. Everyone at the office you hate. I need to go out with my boys for the weekend and just release these demons or whatever they are from me and just have a good time. And it's tough. It's really tough. And sometimes it's so thick. The feeling of being sad, depressed, being surrounded by that toxic, everyone just being so negative around you. It's so thick. You don't even see it. It's like you're in it and you don't even know you're in it. So how do I know, or how did I know that I was in it? I moved out. I went to college. I moved in with my friends and he was so positive. Always chill, everything's relaxed, his energy is really good. His mom, for the most part, was not negative. His dad, but he knows this, right? Because his dad, on the other hand, when we talk to him, I like him a lot, but Dylan says, yeah, but he complains a lot, he's in pain a lot. So he knows, he can tell the difference of energy between him and his dad sometimes. His mom and his dad, the family. He can sense that. But when I moved in with him, everything became so much easier. My life became so much easier. Everything was so clear. I knew what I wanted to do. I had big dreams and aspirations. No one was fucking just stuffing this shit down my throat and making me feel like hopeless, that there was no way out, that I was stuck. Negativity and being surrounded by those people, it sucks you in. You feel stuck. You're not going anywhere. You're here to stay, to hang out. Where you are in your life, that's where you're going to be. I promise you that, and I've noticed that. It feels inescapable. There are no opportunities. But with him, when I was hanging out with him, I had endless opportunities. Anything I wanted to do or accomplish, it felt possible. There was no reason I couldn't do it. Now, obviously, as you get older, more things happen, and then real limitations start to begin. But still, you don't see them, you don't create them the same as when you're just negative or surrounded by other negative people. Negative people don't want to see you succeed. Negative people don't want to see you do well. And again, it's not their fault. They don't even know. They don't even see. It's become habitual for them. It's like a habit. They become a creature of habit. It's the same thing. They don't even know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. They're just stuck in this fucking cycle of being toxic, spewing this negative bullshit, making you believe something that's not true, hating on other people's success, spreading horrible little rumors, or just talking shit for fun. That's their source of enjoyment. Instead of talking about things that they're doing, what they're doing well, things that they want to accomplish, things that they're working on, they're not talking about themselves, they're talking about other people. Do you know anybody For the most part. I mean, I'm talking about for the most part. I'm sure there's, small little scenarios or circumstances or incidences. Do you know anybody that goes out of their way to talk about somebody else and have it be positive? For the most part. Oh, so-and-so is doing so well. I'm so proud of him. Did you hear about so-and-so? Did you hear about this individual? Nobody does that. It's always talking about somebody, referring to somebody, and it's in a negative light. So when you hear that, when that happens to you, you got to get away from that. You need to stop them right there and leave. Just stop it. Why? Because you're not just trying to save them, you're also trying to save yourself. You're also trying to steer yourself away and not fall into that. Now, why am I bringing all this up? Because it's everywhere. It is everywhere on the internet, in the World of Warcraft community. People are always complaining. They're unhappy. This expansion sucks. This PvP system sucks. Yes, I'm complaining about it, but I'm doing it in a video format for entertainment purposes to advocate for things that I want to change for you guys. I'm not sitting out here like with picket signs and I hate this game, F Blizzard. You're not going to see me do that because that is not my goal. I don't ultimately care. I care about you guys, my community, my channel. I want to achieve and accomplish things for you guys, grow this community. Why? Because I want to get away from that horrible toxic community. I don't ever want to be, I don't care about the money. I don't ever want to be somebody who has a lot, like Mitch Jones. I don't ever want to be that. I don't ever want to even be Soda Poppin' or any of these other World of Warcraft streamers. I like Zaryu's chat, I guess. I don't ever want to be somebody who has a toxic chat just for the money and the views. I don't care about that. I don't want to be Asmongold ever. I don't care. I'm not jealous. I'm not envious. Why? Because my number one priority in life is to be happy. And I will slowly, or you will slowly, just get sucked into this cesspool of negativity and this toxic shithole that will prevent you from going any further. And the internet is surrounded by that. Go into Twitch chat and just read the comments. It's always something like Omega lol, Spurg, all these Monka-S emotes, and all these little shitty little phrases. They always talk shit in each other. NA lol. They're always just shit talking something. They don't even speak English. They don't even go in there and formulate an actual sentence. They're always talking about or paraphrasing something. And it always has a negative connotation. It always has something to make fun of somebody, to laugh at somebody. It's never, hey man, how you doing? Thanks for answering my question. Hey bud, how's it going? And that's what I want from my community. I don't, to be honest, you guys, yes, I like to compete in World of Warcraft. I actually really enjoyed playing my monk the other day. After realizing I was wearing a level 1 helmet and thinking it was a transmog, and wondering why I couldn't heal anything. I was a potato. I'm like, wow, I actually like playing my monk again. I need to compete more. But to be honest, you guys, I'm just your friend. Don't look at me as somebody who's really good at the game. Don't look at me as somebody who's way above you and I'm this elite player. That's not me. I'm just a person who plays World of Warcraft. I've been playing it for a long time. I like to play and compete in PvP. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. That's it. We're just friends. Not anything else. Not anything more. We're just good friends. You're part of my family here. You're part of the journey with me. It's a place to come after work, before work, after school, during work. Just to hang out. Hopefully have some laughs, share some laughs, talk to some friends, make some friends, and just get away. It's a place on the internet that's not toxic. Sometimes I'll be toxic, make some jokes or overreact for fun. It's for the lulz. It's for entertainment purposes, but it's not ever to be negative, spiteful, hateful, hurtful. It's just all for fun. And I think some people will listen to that and say, well, that's what they're doing too, right? That's what these emotes are, and that's what this shit talking is for. It's just for fun. No, they're unconsciously doing it, and when you call them out on it, they go, what are you talking about? They don't want to accept that that's what they're doing. They don't want to go out of their way and be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I can't help it but make negative jokes. You're right, you got me. And that's how the World of Warcraft community is. They're always complaining, they're unhappy, they're always shitting on themselves. I suck at PvP, I'm a noob. Stop saying that. The reason why I'm loving my monk again is because I'm not playing it at my best at all. I can barely play Way of the Crane like I used to. I feel horrible. I feel rusty. I don't feel good. I haven't put in the time. I have under 100 games played on my monk this season. It's been going on for like 2 months now, I think. I'm way behind. This LFG Iron Man challenge took up a ton of my time. Then I'm playing these other healers like Resto Shaman, then my DH, then my Shadow Priest. I haven't been taking it seriously, and it's been hurting me. So because I suck, because I'm not doing well, I'm like, wow, I really want to play my monk again. I really want to get better at my monk. And that's how you guys should see that. If you're a Resto Druid, I'm calling out my boy Deagle. Every time you lose a game, you're like, I suck. But there are moments where you're like, hey, I'm not too bad at my Resto Druid. I'm getting better. That's what you should be saying all the time. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Because you make zero progress when you say you suck. The more of that negative spew comes out of your mouth, you're not going anywhere. When I was playing back in BC and I was the shit, and playing in Wrath and I was the shit, I always thought I was the best. I always thought I was the shit. It's better to be overconfident than just underconfident. You're the best you can be. You're getting better, and yeah, I'm gonna be good at this. Focus on yourself, what you're doing. Get away from all the people on the internet that are just toxic. Don't even engage. That is why I started this community, to create a place that's not toxic, a place that feels organic, a place where friendships are made, a place where positivity is spread, a place where improvements happen. Our community should be seen as a barrier to this horrible, toxic internet community that I want nothing to do with. It will never look to be a part of. Ever. I don't want it. I don't care. I don't care how much money it costs. I don't care how much money it makes. I just don't want it. I'm here to be happy, to improve, and provide positive and informative content for you guys. And if you think that's changed over the past couple months, you're wrong. If you go back to my first videos, I want you to watch my guides, and it just puts a smile on your face. I want you to get that positive feeling and vibe when you watch my videos. That's what I set out to do. That's what I'm currently doing. Well, hopefully. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So again, I'm going to ask you, are you somebody that participates in that type of behavior? Do you know anybody in your life that's making you feel that way? Do you have somebody like me when I was young with my mom that you feel is creating an inescapable environment, a depressing environment, a sad environment, a hard environment? Is it adding extra stress to your life? And if so, are you that person? Do you know somebody like that? And if so, the first step to getting out of it is just to realize that it's happening, right? Understanding that it's not so thick to the point where you can't see it. Once you realize it, you're on the right track to making the right steps, and hopefully you're looking to join the right community. But that's gonna do it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this podcast a thumbs up. If you have any questions about this topic, if you liked this topic, if you know anybody in your life that subscribes to that toxic lifestyle, let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. Try to catch me on my YouTube live stream where I answer all of your guys' questions in depth. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys after BlizzCon.